And another way, always I was looking forward, the nation would be greater as every day passes by. Every day, I thought this is going to be another beautiful year next year. But I was quite disappointed as a kid. At the way they were looked at the corruption, the way I looked at the nepotism. It was quite disappointing for me. Always my desire was a commoner to be something, a commoner to stand for the oppressed. But the society around us, it is only the dynastic rule, and everything really bothered me. So finally I became an actor. But that social consciousness never left out of me. I was quite keen. I was watching around, observing things around, reading a lot, absorbing a lot. But finally, when our state has been, Andhra Pradesh had been divided the way it got divided, and everything, I was looking at it, how the political leadership and everything, how conveniently it has become. The power politics really disturbed me. So instead of being an armchair thinker, I was thinking loud within myself, or contemplated for quite a time. I said, would I sit like everyone else, or would I come forward and do something? I thought, without any expectations, without seeking power, but I want to stand for the voice of the oppressed. I want to be the voice for the neglected. I want to be the voice who are really meek and helpless. That's how I formed Janasena Party. And there were a lot of people, youngsters. Today, I said, all of you come from different parts of a country, and you're looking forward to become some kind of leaders and leadership, and you want to have an active role in politics. In 2007, when I had started Common Man Protection Force, which is supposed to stand for the oppressed and meek and helpless, I had met a lot of young people, both boys and girls. But what I had noticed in them was, at least most of them, they need change within shortest time possible, like an instant noodle. And 2007, I looked at the youth there then, the way they wanted everything immediate. They don't have the patience. Then that's what I thought, okay, let me walk the talk. So then from there onwards, I went on continuing. In 2014, I started the party. And I had lost my first election in 2019. Even I myself lost in both the places which I had contested. But that didn't stop me continuing my political journey. Because when I had started, so what must have made me to be here? What must have made me to continue it is not for personal recognition. There is no ego in defeat. If you really love this nation, if you really care for our motherland, if you really care for the meek and helpless, nothing deters you. A defeat of any kind of defeat, nothing, it does not deter you. And my commitment for my nation came from our predecessors, our freedom fighters, looking at the sacrifice of Bhagat Singh at the age of 23. At the age of 23, some people around in this period, at this times, maybe they're going for hotel and pubs and partying. But at the age of 23, Bhagat Singh, he sacrificed himself to wake up the nation for the generations to come. And that kind of Bhagat Singh is inspiration to me. And so in spite of my failure as a political party to get into the Sansad, but what made me to continue is, we are able to help. Being a party, we just had got one seat, still we are able to help people. Very recently, I would like to share a case with you. Around 4 years back, a 14-year-old girl in Kurnool, in the state of Andhra Pradesh, a student from residential school, one day she bid goodbye to her mom. Normally she would come back by the evening, but that day she didn't turn up. And this happened in 2015. Her mother receives a call from the school authorities, residential school authorities, saying that your daughter is not feeling well. Please, would you like to come and see? Please take her home. By the time she goes there, she's dead. And it was like as if she hung herself. That's what the school authorities says. And later they realized She was raped and she was killed. And justice was not done. And that mother, after I had such a colossal defeat in 2019, these elections, I was sitting in my office, I was handling my own failure, and this mother of that kid, that girl, with her husband, and one of my youngest daughter, she comes and meets me. She shares her experience. It's like, Anna, this is what happened to my daughter. And everything is there, right from the certificates of she has been raped and everything, whatever has to be, the perpetrators has to be punished, but nothing had been done. We have, and because they're powerful, the case is not moving forward. If it is in cinema, it is like, it's quite a dramatic scene. You go, do justice in 2-3 minutes and come out, and you get money for that. But in real life, I felt so helpless, so painful to look at a wailing mother who lost her daughter. It was churning for me, like, my stomach was churning, looking at her pain and agony. And I said, and people whom we have to fight against, they're very powerful people, who has a lot of muscle, who has tons of money. Even for me, to fight against them was not an easy task. I told her, okay, I'll look into it. I don't know how to take it forward. Then I went ahead, slowly in 2-3 months, we gathered we gained some strength, we started addressing, and now finally a week back, we did a huge protest rally in our hometown called Kurnool, and we got the state government to make sure the case will be taken by CBI, and where the state government, for all these years, they had the previous regime neglected and the current regime neglected for a while. Now it cannot be. They could not do it anymore. You know why? It's because if we are committed, if I would have needed a seat, if I would have wanted to be a Rajya Sabha member, if I wanted to be a parliamentarian, if I wanted to be an assembly, things would have been different. But my purpose here is to stand for the people who are oppressed and helpless. And as long as I'm committed to it, I'm fine even if I lose multiple times. But I will stand for this nation, I'll stand for the weak and weak. So, as you all are, maybe looking forward to gain something, paying 1,000 rupees to be here in this kind of seminar for 4 days, it's truly I have to appreciate you and truly applaud you for your commitment and for coming all the way from different parts of India. And I appreciate Rahulji to initiate all this in School of MIT of especially for such an eminent institution to take forward this kind of seminars, which would really help people. It's not just people who are within this auditorium, pan-India, who are looking at this seminar. They really get inspired and influenced, and I truly appreciate you for your patience. And the only thing I would like to share with all of you, just a few more things. I want you to understand, no matter what, don't come with a short-term plan. If you really want to be the change agents in politics, at least try to give at least a decade to 2 decades. I have committed myself at least 2.5 decades in 2014 that I would commit for my nation, I would commit for my motherland, that I will, whatever I'm capable of doing, I'll do it, irrespective of whatever that I'll gain or lose. I'm going to give 25 years of my life for the nation which gave me birth. So don't expect immediate changes. Don't expect immediate transformation will happen, because your time is very valuable. So I want you to be practical. I want you to be really pragmatic. So I want you to have loads of time, loads of patience. Don't try to be mere armchair thinking. So if you're talking about social media, anything is nothing, there is no, the problem with any medium or any kind of paper is not about how you do it, how are you going to use it. There are people on Twitter or on other social accounts who will do a very constructive job. There are another part of individuals who will be very destructive It depends on which side you are on. Always try to be constructive, be properly, like analyze a topic, don't try to abuse people, be practical. And regarding the time, I want you to understand, give enough time for yourself. Don't try to be, by the time you're almost been early 20s, at least. You have to give yourself at least 10 to 15 years to see a little change, a glimmer of hope. Just a little light to be seen on the other edge. Give yourself at least 10 to 15 years time. Don't expect immediate result.